Hi. I've always been somewhat of a homebody. I've preferred to stay at home, read, watch movies, and write whatever I want. I've just always preferred to stay home. Even to the point where I hear my friends complaining, like, oh, my mom won't let me go out tonight. Oh, I can't hang out with my boyfriend. Oh, I can't do this. I can't go out this weekend. To the point where my own parents have encouraged me to be more social, to go outside more. Go text her, go do this, go to the mall, go do that. And I've always just wanted to stay home, just do my own thing. I'm obviously more social now. I love to go to parties, do this, do that, but I still always have a love for my favorite media, comic books, regular books, graphic novels, movies, TV shows, and cartoons. And as much of a cinephile as I am, I've noticed more and more as I watch. And even for this talk, I've rewatched a lot of my old favorite shows. And the more I watched, the more I remembered when people would ask me, oh, who's your favorite character? Why do you like this character so much? I wouldn't be able to give a truthful answer. Many of the characters I chose weren't because I enjoyed their character or I enjoyed the personality. I only picked them because the fact they were black. The only black character in some of these shows, in fact. And the more I just took that as an answer at first. And the more I watched and the more I kept giving false answers, the more this kept happening and happening over and over again. The less I wanted to talk about my favorite movies and TV shows. And as I kept saying my favorite characters, lying about which ones were my favorite, I wanted to come up here and ask if other people have noticed how how girls like me have been represented, because I'm tired of saying, oh, wow, she's just like me, or he is my favorite character because, and give a false reason, or when it comes to characters who were either inhuman or anthropomorphic animals, I would say, well, they aren't black, but they act like they are, or they're black-coded. And the more I said these things, the more I lied about my favorite characters, I decided to do a deep dive and look at some of my favorite shows. And I sorted a lot of characters and a lot of stereotypes and tropes and specific movies into categories, such as the average black girl in media. Many shows always have at least one character of color, whether they're Hispanic or Middle Eastern or Asian or black. They always, for black characters, they're usually sorted into characters like Dejanay, Raven Simone from That's So Raven, Number 5 from Codename Kids Next Door, Lashana from Total Drama Island, and Libby from Jimmy Neutron. I noticed how a lot of these characters would keep the same stereotypes. Well, not stereotypes, but personality, and it'd just be copy and pasted over and over with a few differences. For example, Lashana, or Number 5 from Conan Kids Next Door, I never felt represented by them because, obviously, well, they're black, and I always said they were my favorite character. But I'm not loud and crass. I don't have a super big personality. I don't take up a room with my speech or my actions. And then these characters seem to have a lot of stereotypes that do represent other black girls that are like me. But characters like Dejanay, who's named after a seasoning and has 5 siblings who are named after different seasonings and condiments, don't represent me. And the more I looked and the more I noticed, I saw some of my favorite black characters were just stereotypes upon stereotypes, such as the comic relief. One of my favorite characters, Donkey from Shrek, similar to Skeeter from Doug or Marty from Madagascar. They're just animalistic characters meant to represent a person of color or a black character, but their ignorance is amplified, and they're just an animal that's there for comic relief, similar to Ed from Good Burger or Kim from Alicia and the bagel guy from iCarly. They're just there. They're black or they're black-coded, but they're only there to be comic relief. They're only there so the main character can either see their mistakes and improve from them, or they're there to pause the plot And after maybe a heavy moment or a traumatic action, they are there to crack a joke or be the butt of the joke because of their ignorance or stupidity, which is amplified. But I digress. I'm thinking way too much about it. It's just a movie. It's just a TV show. Like, Good Burger is a kid's show, and Ed is supposed to be the lovable idiot. I'm thinking way too much about it. So I digress. The black best friend, or the best friend. There's always a white character who has a goal to achieve or is the antagonist, such as Angelica from the Rugrats, but then you have characters like Susie, Dion from Clueless, or Monique from Kim Possible, who are there to support their best friend. And obviously, they're characters, but a lot of what they do revolves around their white counterpart. All Dion does in Clueless, a cult classic for some reason, is just argue with her boyfriend twice and support Cher when she wants to go shopping. All Monique does is support Kim and give her advice. But then you have characters like Sam from the Captain America movies, in which his first introduction was that he was just Captain America's friend. It isn't halfway into the movie that we found out he's actually a superhero, in which his suit gets broken 10 minutes into its introduction. But you're like, oh, he has a TV show now. He's the new Captain America now. But it took 12 years for him to finally get a personality. And characters like Preston, who are also just the best friend, are only introduced about twice into the movie and is just there to tell the white protagonist, hey, go get that girl, man, or start the love story itself. But again, I'm thinking way too much about it. It's just a movie. It's just a TV show. They're there as a character. They might not have a lot about them, but they are there to help the plot progress. They're there to be a counterpart to the character. They're just their friend. I'm thinking way too much about it. So I digress. The voice of reason or the supporter. Whenever the white main character or the main character is down on their luck, they're depressed after the climax, after something horrible has happened, they're down, they're depressed, they don't know what to do. There's always a hand on their shoulder to tell them, everything's gonna be all right. You're kind, you're smart, you're beautiful. Everything will be perfectly fine. All you need to do is believe in yourself. All you need to do is heel up your bootstraps, dust yourself off, and get back on that horse. But that's their only point. They're thus there to be an emotional support. And you may not say that for Coffrey from Green Mile, because he was one of the main characters. But the main protagonist is the white officer in this movie. He's just the magical black guy who was sent from heaven and tells the white guy he isn't wrong for his actions because he's not the specific evil one. He just supports the evil system in place put in that prison. I know a lot of people might have not seen Green Mile, but if you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I digress. These are just characters that are there to be a plot device. Every character is a plot device if we think about it. They're not there just so the white main character can feel better about themselves so they can finish the story. That's not the point. They're there because we need someone to tell us it's going to be okay, to tell us it's going to be all right, because we see ourselves as the main character, not characters like them, but I'm thinking way too much about it. So I digress again. But the more I digress, the more examples I notice, such as Orange Blossom, a character I said was my favorite, never really was though, was whitewashed. But she wasn't whitewashed, that was just a difference in the character design. Or the Gross Sisters, who are so black they're blue, but every school show or kids' cartoon needs the school bully. I digress. Or Rasputia, whose literal only point in the movie where she's a secondary main character is to be the big, loud, angry black woman who's trying to stop Norbit and his love interest from childhood is from getting together. Don't think too much about it. Or Lola, the fish, who was literally supposed to be a light-skinned Jezebel, who only gets with Will Smith's fish character because he's rich and then tries to kill him when he gets with his sweetheart. Or Amber from Invincible, who's there for 3 episodes, annoying the black girlfriend and gets out of the way so Mark can get with the real girl he loves, Adam Eve. But again, I'm thinking too much about it. She's just there to make Mark grow. And obviously, we all know Freedom Writers, the cult classic, in which a white teacher comes to a ghetto school and helps all the students rise, learn, get their degrees, get out of the hood. She saves them. But I'm thinking way too much about it. I digress. But the more I digress, the more I move forward and push on without noticing. I can't enjoy my favorite films anymore. I look at all my favorite media and I see these tropes again, over and over and over. I don't have any real favorite characters. I just have characters that are black, and I'm like, oh, yeah, they're my favorite character just because I like her. Yeah. But the more I digress, and even before coming up here to talk, I asked others, hey, do you notice what I notice? And they agreed. Even the own teachers around Nichols, they said, well, representation matters. And it's good now, but it wasn't before, so we should we should be grateful for what we have now. Or some that agree with what I stood, and they were like, oh, well, representation, I saw girls that weren't really like me, so I had to find representation elsewhere. I was glad with what I had. But then I even asked my own peers, and they were like, well, that's just the way it is. There's nothing you can really do about it. Just watch the TV show. And I know there is girls like me in media. I'm not saying there isn't. There's characters like Akilah from Akilah and the Bee, Shuri from Black Panther, Storm from X-Men, Moesha from Moesha, and Janine from Abbott Elementary. And I relate to all of these characters because while some are outspoken and more shy, they're all smart. They like to read. They like STEM, etc., etc. But these are the only 5 characters I could find. These are the only 5 characters out of the sea of media I've watched and seen and enjoyed. These were the only 5 characters I could relate to. And I'm tired of it. Quite literally, there's only so many times I can rewatch the same films, read the same comics, rewatch the same series over and over and over again, just for the taste of saying like, wow, she's just like me, and not meaning it with air quotes. For children's media, 50% of protagonists are white. 12% are black and Latino. In the middle of that, the rest are either anthropomorphic animals or are just somewhere lost in the cracks. I don't think I'm being greedy. I don't think I'm asking for too much. I don't think I'm being unbelievably I don't think I'm asking for a lot. Because I know there's girls like me here and girls like me who will be watching this, who will say, I agree with her, and there's not a lot of girls like us who just like to stay home, read, are a bit shyer, like to write and like STEM, who aren't as outspoken, who want girls like them to want to see them on their TVs, their comics, their books, their cartoons. They can grow up knowing that there's other girls like them out there. There isn't really any solution to what I'm asking for you all here. The only thing you can do is be more aware of what you're watching, because girls like me deserve more. Thank you.